Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today's part 2 of my shipping label series, where I'm teaching you how to make shipping labels in your Access database. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, go watch part 1. Get out of here, go watch it, and then come on back. So in the last video on Friday, we have our customer table. We added the ship to fields right there. We put it on the customer form. Now, I want to make a button eventually that says print me a shipping label. But first or next, however you look at it, we're going to make a query that just has this label in it. Okay? So let's create query design. And I'm going to bring in my customer T. Now, in this query, we only need the fields that we need for the label. So we're going to start off, of course, with customer ID. First name and last name should always be the same. Now, here's the thing. I want to look at the ship to address. Okay? And if there's something there, I'm going to use the ship to address, all the fields, city, state, zip, whatever. If this is null, then I want to use the regular address. Okay? So here's how I'm going to do it. Close this thing. I'm going to click here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it for your pleasure, right? We're going to make a new field. Let's call it X address, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Okay, colon. This will be set equal to if is null the ship to address, then this guy is going to be just the address. Otherwise, use the ship to address. Okay? Right? If this guy is null, right? Then use the regular address. Otherwise, we're going to use the ship to address. Now, copy this whole thing because we're going to kind of reuse it and hit OK. All right, let's just save this real quick. Shipping label Q. And let's see what we got. Now, we didn't put any data in here. So right now, there's no shipping address. If I open up the query, all right, I should see that, right? And while I'm thinking about it, I only want to print the shipping label for the current customer, right? Whoever is open. So in the customer ID field here, we're going to say equals forms customer F customer ID. And that's why I wanted you to watch those prerequisite videos before the last class. Now when I run it, I'm just seeing me. Okay? Close it and save it. Now, if I do happen to put something here, 101 Main Street, Buffalo, New York, 14222, let's say. Okay? Now, remember, it's dirty. So if I run this now, this is what's still in the table. Okay? Because this guy's dirty. So when we have our little button here, we're going to make sure we have to have a refresh of some kind in there. But for this, you could either just move off the record and back to it, or open and close the form. But if I open it now, look at that. It's got that address in there because ship to address is not null. And if you want to learn more about null, go watch this video. It talks about null, is null, the is null function, all that different stuff. Right? Usually you know this by the time you get to the if function and all that. But if not, go watch. See, I know what order I cover stuff in my classes, but I don't know what order you've learned stuff in. If this was one of my classes, I'd already know we covered null before we covered if. But okay, so go watch this if you don't know what null is. That's the trouble with, like, I've got my course and then I do these tech help videos and I try to remember the prerequisites, but I don't always get them all. So, okay. Anyway, now we can pretty much do the same thing with the other fields. All right. This is why I wanted you to copy this. You can do it again. Copy this to your clipboard. Okay. Now the next field is city. So we're going to call it X city. But I'm still going to look at the ship to address. I want to just make sure that if the ship to address is null or not, use all of the fields from the ship to. So city or ship to city. Just like that. Okay, we'll do the same thing with state. X state. All right, state and state. Two more. Zip. I used to edit stuff like this out of my videos, but then people would complain. and be like, well, you didn't do zip code. I missed it. Well, yeah, I said I'm going to do it off camera. So now I do everything on camera. I don't care. You can watch. Grab a Snickers bar. All right, country and country. Okay. I would rather have a few people bored watching me do something repetitively than lose one person who's like, what happened? Right? All right, save it, run it, and there we go. There's the whole ship to address. Whether or not something's in that first field is what determines it. Now I've got my query that I can use to build my report. All right, so close this, but leave the form open because remember, this query where we're getting our data from needs this form to be open, right? So we're going to use the mailing label wizard. It's a good wizard. I like it. It's going to be on the create tool. Now make sure you click on shipping label queue first because it gets its data source from whatever you've got selected. So if you select order T and hit the button, it's going to base it on order T. So click shipping label queue. That's where our data is coming from. Click labels. Now, for a shipping label, I like the Avery 5168 on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You get 4 of them on a page. It's like basically a quarter page label. All right, hit next. You could jack up your font size so it's going to be a bigger label. I jacked it up to like 18, 16, whatever. That's fine. Next. Build your prototype label. So it's going to be first name, space, last name. Did I put a space in there? I don't think I did. Space. Last name, enter. Address, enter. City, space. State, space. Zip, enter. Country. I covered this in Access Beginner Level 1 if you've never seen this before. Next. And that's a free course. What do you want to sort by? Doesn't matter. We only got one label in this report. Next. What would you like to name the report? Well, we're going to name it Shipping Label R. And sure, I'll see the labels as they look when they're finished. All right, finish it up. Boom. There you go. There's your label. Now, you could jazz this up a little bit if you want. All right, you got some room to play with. One thing I might like to do is make it landscape instead. All right, landscape looks a little better. And then in here, you could take this guy. Now, since we're landscape, let's see what our margins are. Go to the page setup. All right, our margins are, okay, so we got half inch, basically half inch around, so an inch around the page. So if we're going landscape, that means that this is 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So there's the edge, there's the whole paper. There it is with the margins. I like to come in like a tiny little bit more, like that far. Okay, so that's the whole page. But we're doing 2 across. So I really can only come out to 5. All right, so we'll go a little bit shy of 5, like right about there. That should do it. So that's how big that can be that way. Now this is going to be 8.5 by 11. So 8.5 divided by 2. We got 7 with the margins. So 3 3/4, right? All right, 8.5, so it'd be 7.5 divided by 2. 3 3/4, yeah, that's right. Okay. So this guy can come out to about maybe there. Maybe. So that's the size of your label if we're going landscape. So now you could take this and center it right about here. Maybe down a little bit to the right. Because you want your return address up here, right? So I'll grab report design, grab a label, drop it here. Right, and we'll put Spock's Emporium 101 somewhere. Galaxy far away, whatever. Okay, that's your return address, right? On the shipping label. All right, so save that, close it, and now we'll preview it. Where are you? Right down here. Shipping label R. Right click, print preview, and okay. All right, this comes up occasionally. Some data may not be displayed. That's because we were playing with stuff manually. You got this just a little bit too wide. So come in here, design view, make this guy just one little tiny bit smaller, and I bet you that goes away. Print preview. Yep. Oh, no, still there. Let's see. Design view, come a little bit in more. Save it. Right click, print preview one more time. All right, there we go. 3rd time's a charm. See? And there's your label. Now you're probably saying to yourself, this is just one label on a page. You could fit 4 of these bad boys on here. Yeah, you can. And I've got other lessons that show how to put multiple labels on a page and all kinds of stuff. I can show you how to do it with a Dymo label printer. I'll go over some other videos I've got at the end of this one. But for now, our goal was just to print the one label, and there it is. All right, now we got to print this guy from the form. So I'm going to put a little button right here just to do that. All right, let's go to Design View. And we're going to go to Command Button, drop it here. We're going to go Report Operations, Preview Report. Next, I want the shipping label R. I'm going to go Text, Shipping Label. Next, it wants a name for the button. I'm going to call it Print Shipping Label Button, BTN. And then hit Finish. And someone's beaming in. Hold on. Put that right there. All right, now we can close this, save changes. And I just had Access lock up in me. There was there's one of the recent releases of Access that introduced some kind of a weird bug. And even my really simple databases like these have been locking up. So I'm waiting for the next update. Anyhow, I had to restart. So back into here. Here's my shipping label. Click the button. And there it is. Now, the problem that we have at this point is if I do make any changes here, like this, right? If I click the button, it doesn't have that update in it. So we have to put a refresh in this button. Now, this is where I said there's going to be a little bonus material. We got a little bonus extra here for you. All right, you ready for some bonus material? Now, this is the kind of extra little stuff I usually throw in the extended cuts, but I'm feeling generous today. So we're going to do a little bit of VBA stuff. Now, if you've never programmed VBA before, I know I said this was not going to be a lesson that required VBA, and it doesn't. We're done unless you want to see the extra cool stuff. All right, if you've never done any VBA before, go watch this. It'll get you started in about 20 minutes. Now, I'm going to just get rid of this button here because when you use the wizard, it creates something called an embedded macro, and I try not to work with those. I'm not a big fan of embedded macros. So I'm going to grab a new button. I'm going to drop it down here. Cancel the wizard. This will be my shipping label button, which I will, well, that made it too big. Shipping label, right? Which I will open up its properties and also call it shipping label button. Now I'm going to right click and go to build event. I know it's off the screen here. Let me move this up so you can see it. Right click and build event. There it is. That's going to open up your VBA code window. There it is. Boom, look at that. And inside here, first I'm going to say me.refresh. That refreshes the current form. It saves the record to the table. So now I can open the report and it'll have the most up-to-date information in it. And that command is docommand, docmd.open report. What's the report name? Shipping label R, comma. How do you want to see it? I want to preview it on the screen. So it's AC view preview. It gives you a list right there. And that's it. That's all you need. See? That was actually even easier and faster than running the button wizard, right? Once you learn the commands. There's only a handful of commands that you have to learn. Like up here, you can see there's do command open form. Same thing. This has a little condition on it that says where the customer is the current customer. But it's not hard. This stuff is not hard, folks. It just takes a little getting used to. All right? So we'll close this. Save changes, yes. Let me bring my video window back down. And now, if I come in here and make this a bunch of Z's and hit shipping label, you can see the Z's are now in there because this record was saved first. See how nice that is. Get rid of it and hit the shipping label. All right. Perfect. That's kind of the same thing that I showed in the orders when we did the invoices. Same thing has to happen because if you don't save this, it won't update. Another little bonus I figured I'd throw in there, if you want to copy the billing address to the shipping address field, you can do that with a little bit of code too. Let's say that, James Kirk, he's in Riverside, Iowa, same zip code, but his office is on a different street. So he wants a different street address. So you want to copy this and just make a minor change to it. Well, how do you do that? This is nice and easy. We're just going to copy this button too. Ready? Copy, paste. All right, and I'll just slide this up here. Now we're going to say copy, I can't spell today, copy bill address, like that. Copy Bill's address. Get it, Bill Shatner? All right. Sorry. All right, so copy why do I keep putting 2 P's in my copy? Copy bill button. Good. Burn. Okay, it's time for a break. I've been recording too long today. All right, ready? Right click, build event, comes back into the code builder. Now, right in here, I'm going to say ship to address equals address. That's it, right? Ship to city equals city. Ship to state equals state. Ship to zip equals zip. Ship to country equals country. That's it, folks. And yeah, there's a lot more advanced stuff in here. You can put an "Are you sure?" You can put checks to make sure that these values aren't null. There's all kinds of stuff you can do, but that's the basics of how to copy one field to another one. It's that simple. Save it, close it, save it, close it, open it, and let's go. I'll just do this one here. Copy billing address. Boom. There you go. And if there's something in here, right, test it. Boom. There you go. Okay. Come over here. Click the button. Boom. And give me a shipping label. Okay. And that's special. Now, one thing I do want to mention is here we are only printing one shipping label for this customer. However, we are not saving where the order was shipped to. And that could be important because if this customer moves and they said, hey, I didn't get the order that you shipped a month ago, right? And since then you've updated their address in here, well, guess what? You don't know where it was shipped, right? So you really want to copy this shipping address onto the order so you know where this order was shipped. Or if you got a special one-time thing, like maybe someone's sending a gift, right? Like on Amazon, you can send a gift. And they want to send it to a different address, but it's not their normal shipping address. So in that case, you have to copy this address to the order, so you know where this order was shipped. And how do you do that? Well, we'll cover that in the extended cut for the members. Silver members and up get access to all my extended cut videos, and gold members can download these databases, and you get access to my code vault. And I'm actually going to show you a way that you can do this without coding. We're going to probably do a little bit of coding too, just, it's fun. But you can do this without programming. It is possible. Now, before I let you go, I want to mention a couple other things. First, if you use Dymo label writers, I have one, and it's fantastic. They're great for just printing out, like, I got to ship one thing or I got to mail one thing. So I've got a separate video to teach you how to use that with Access. Not very hard. This is a free video. And I also want to mention that I have a mailing label seminar where I cover all kinds of extra stuff and how to do crazy things with mailing labels. If you do a lot of shipping and mailing and stuff like that, check this seminar out. It's about an hour long. I teach you how to insert blank fields at the top. So if you got a sheet with one label missing on it, you can skip that one and print over it. You can make X copies of a label. So if you want to make 10 copies of a particular label, you can return address labels, that kind of thing. All kinds of stuff covered in this seminar. Check it out. I'll put a link to it down below. So that's going to do it for your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. And members, I will see you in the extended cut. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.